What is up, all you beautiful people? It is I, AkemiTCG, back here with a brand new video. I'm feeling better now. I ended up getting the vid for the past 2 weeks, but I feel a ton better now. And I just wanted to say congratulations. Rikka gang, Umbrella gang, anybody who plays Rikkas, congratulations to all of you, because we actually got first place at an event, a TCG event, not OCG event, by a guy named Sorvent. And shoutouts to mcole40 for posting up his deck list. I was supposed to work on it a week ago or 2 ago, but then, you know, stuff happened with the vid. But I want to kind of break down this whole deck step by step and kind of explain the whole process of why he made the choices he made. And I just want to break down just this new entire playstyle of Rikkas and how it relates towards the current meta today and why this build is relatively good. So let's get right into it. So here we have a very unorthodox build. There's a lot of weird nuances with the deck. For example, he's not playing triple Snowdrop, he's not playing triple Mudon, which is arguably one of the most important cards of the deck. He is playing Super Poly, Verte, etc. But let me explain each of these choices and kind of like put in a little bit of input on each of these choices. So first off, we have Psyframe Driver, and 3 Gammas. These are really good this format. You go in first, you go in second. If you're using Glamour and then they interrupt it with, let's say, like an Ash, then it's simply an easy game. Everybody and their mom is playing 3 Ashes right now. And even with 1-for-1, Rikka Glamour, Pot of Prosperity, you're playing literally 7 cards that work with Gamma on your turn. And if you're going second, then you have the option to Gamma your opponent. The only big downside is if you locked into plants, you can't summon the Gamma, but at that time you would have monsters anyway, so it doesn't really make a difference. And also Driver is a brick, but you know, that's what you get, or that's kind of like the apples you deal with when you're playing the Gamma package. So I believe it works completely fine with this deck, especially with 7 applicable reasons to play that card. 2 Snowdrops. I'm pretty sure this is recursion with the Strene. You can get your Snowdrop back, and also it is very integral to the deck. However, it's not too hard to summon, just because in this build you do have Fairy Archer and Gunnar, so summoning that rank 8 Teardrop, which is going to be probably the most important card in the deck, by the way, as you're about to see, is pretty critical. So it's not too bad to just play 2, because sometimes the third one can be a brick in the hand. 2 Mudon just for the searches. Sometimes having too many of these can be bricky in the hand, so I understand that as well. 1 World Caraway Champion just for the recursion. I'm pretty sure because there's the new Sun Avalon package, he's probably just gonna splash in the 1 Sun Avalon. Let me just look it up real fast. Sun Avalon Dryas. So just in case he draws into World Caraway Champion, he can literally normal summon it, get the Dryas, and then resummon the Caraway Champion back if he so wishes to go that route. If you are enjoying this video so far, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I would very much appreciate it, and become part of the Umbrella Gang today. 1 Primula. Because you're not playing combo, Primula is not as nearly as effective. You're playing control. This is a very heavily control build deck, so it just works. 3 Lone Fire, obviously, don't need to talk about that. 3 Ash, don't need to talk about that either. 3 Gamma, we've already talked about that. 3 Petal, this is the Stratos, this is the Searcher in the deck, so you want to play the 3 Petal, which makes a lot of sense. Obviously, the 1-for-1, we only have it at 1 here, unfortunately. If you're playing an OCG, you would play this at 2, because it's at 2. 3 Rikka Glamour, this is your search. Plus, very important here, a lot of people were asking, like, why do you play Champion, World Caraway Champion? It's because when you play Glamour and you tribute one of your plant cards, you can potentially get both Caraway and Primula. And because you added Primula in your hand, and on resolution, Primula checks, did something get tributed? Did a plant monster get tributed? If yes, you may trigger Primula's effect. So that's why he's not playing Rose Girl with this, just because, you know, you're not playing combo, you don't really need the extra card. I would try playing Rose Girl in the deck just to check it out, but with Prosperity, it makes it really easy to get the pieces you need. I know this is going to be outside of a lot of people's budgets, but Prosperity is such an insane card in this deck. I did do one Road to Nationals where I played Pot of Prosperity, and my god, this card is incredibly strong in Rikkas. You get the Petal, you get the Lone Fire, you get the Prim, you get the Moodon, you get the Snowdrop. 9 times out of 10, if you resolve Prosperity, you're going to get exactly what you want. Especially when it comes towards games 2 and 3. When you're siding, you're going to want these cards in your hand. And Prosperity makes it so easy to get that Dark Ruler no more that you need. To get that Raigeki, that Duster, the Twin Twisters, etc. It makes it so easy to get what you need, and that's why I like Prosperity in this build a lot. Fury of Kairu Shin, this searches Torrential Tribute. This is a common, so it's not hard to get. If you guys don't know what it does, it has a secondary effect where if a water monster water monsters you control will be destroyed by a card effect, you can banish this card from the graveyard instead. A lot of people forget this. So let's say like they attempt to use Red Eyes Dr. Goon. Actually, oh yeah, Red Eyes Dr. Goon, I'm just like blanking out here. And then use Red Eyes Dr. Goon to kill your Teardrop. You can just use Fury of Kairu Shin to banish it, and then your Teardrop's protected because it's water. Also with Torrential, it has insane amount of synergy because if your opponent summons something, you just flip Torrential, and if you just have a Teardrop or like even just a plethora of waters on the field, you just banish your Fury of Kairu Shin to protect it, which is very neat. It's a continuous effect, is not an activated effect, by the way. One Super Poly, you're going to see why. This is going to be for the Verte Anaconda play. For the Verte Anaconda play, the only ones you're actually making are Triforanthum and Chimera Rafflesia. Triforanthum is going to be a little bit easier to make because sometimes your opponent ends on Verte and Dragoon. But Chimera Rafflesia is going to be a lot easier to make because every time you summon Verte, you just need another dark monster. And Verte has an inherent effect. Target one of your opponent's monsters, turn it into a dark, you just get a free Chimera Rafflesia every time. As long as your opponent's monsters can be targeted, then you can just spaghetti it up and just pay that 2k and then you're good to go. 2 Eyes Dragon's Prison, this card is just good right now. No need to talk too much about that card. 2 Torrential Tributes, obviously with the Fury of Kairu Shin. Rikka Sheet. It's just interesting that there's no Rikka Tranquility. I think his playstyle is going to be different. I'm probably going to go back and watch some of his duels if he has some. I'm not sure. But with Tranquility, I love the recursion. But with Rikka Sheet, I understand this immensely more because in some of my builds, I do play Dampier. And if you guys don't know what Dampier is if you use a monster with a level that is owned by your opponent, no matter what level it is, could be level 13, you can just treat it as a level 6. So you could Rikka Sheet, take your opponent's monster. By the way, it turns into a plant anyway, so there's no crossing, there's no issue with what is it? Rivalry of the Warlords. So you can just take your opponent's monster. I know you can't make a wait, each player can only control one type of monster. You can't make the Dampier anyways, but just Rikka Sheet just doesn't have like any conflict with Rivalry of the Warlords. And which probably comes to the most important card of this deck is Rivalry of the Warlords. Each player can only control one type of monster. So Plant City, I feel like the only conflict you'd have with this is probably Cypherm Gamma. But if you're going first and you set Rivalry of the Warlords, that usually chokes out a lot of decks, believe it or not. So it's a good tech, I like it. And obviously 3 Solemn Strikes. Extra deck, anything special here? Omega for the Gamma Driver. 1 Periton, 3 Teardrop. Yep, just so there's more fodder for Prosperity. I'll say Dampier. Nothing too crazy out of the ordinary here. Obviously, you play Jasmine if you just want to extend. Now, let's look onto the sideboard. So the sideboard, if you haven't noticed, is just geared towards going second. Because this particular build is control going first. So, you know, people ask me, what kind of build do you want for a control deck? This is actually very similar to what I build. But shoutouts to this guy. Shoutouts to MCO40 for posting the deck list. Shoutouts to Sorvent for doing so well. Prankatops, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, Dark Ruler, No Mores, Cosmic Twin Twisters, Evenly Matched. Those are all going second options, okay? 12 out of the 15 cards are for going second because this deck just can't really go second. Doesn't really get that clean advantage that a lot of other decks have. So these are all going second. And obviously, if you know you're going first, just side into 3 Solemn Judgments. Because Solemn Judgment is awful for going second, but fantastic, phenomenal for going first. Anyways, that is all I have for the... Oh, whoa, we didn't see that. That is all I have for the video. Hopefully, all of you guys enjoyed. I apologize, it's a little bit delayed, but I do have a spicy Rikka deck list that I want to show you guys tomorrow. I discovered it from this YouTuber, and I wanted to showcase it to all of you guys because, you know, he's a smaller YouTuber. I want to be able to push all the Rikka support, all the Rikka combos to all of you guys. All right, so stay tuned for that. I am AkemiTCG. I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace.
The world ends now.